Hello everyone and welcome back to part 5 of the English Bull Terrier tutorial, otherwise known as my dog Paddy. So I hope that you're all doing really well. If you've just joined here and you want to start from the beginning, I'll make sure to link part 1 down below along with everything else that you need to know, such as supplies and whatnot. And other than that, let's just get started. Right, so I'm going to work on the ear in this video, this big right ear, and I am going to start by just carrying this fur upwards. So I'm going to use that cold grey one, 230 as the base colour, and I'm just going to bring it up to this like tan bit here that just comes up the side. Bring it up to there. A little bit in between. And then up to this bit where it's sort of like the pink bit of the ear meets the furry bit. So I hope you're all doing really well. To a wedding last weekend and that was lovely, and then it was my dad's birthday, and then it's my friend's birthday today, so we're going out tomorrow. So it's been a very busy couple of weeks. This is like the busiest month for me in terms of like birthdays and stuff like that, so it's pretty non-stop. I'm just going to bring it up here as well. So yeah. Also, it's the coronation on Saturday, so we have another bank holiday on Monday, but I don't know whether I will be using it as a proper bank holiday or if I'll just end up doing something, but I'm just going to add it up here as well. I'm always so torn with bank holidays because obviously as a self-employed person you don't get paid if you don't do any work, but also everyone else is off, so it's nice to spend time with people. I'm always very torn, but we'll see. Might just bring it a bit more down here. So I've not gone over these like orangey areas, so I'm just gonna add now a bit of ivory just where those like orangey bits are, so I can see, and then we can start blending everything together. So ivory 103. Oh, by the way, ignore, oh that's so gross, sorry I just showed you that. Ignore that. Paddy was trying to eat a full ear. I don't know what ear it was like a fluffy furry one, but yeah, he has this habit of wanting to try and eat it in one, which is not good. So we're trying to get it off him, and as he was chewing it, stupid me, put my hand in his mouth. So yeah, ignore that minging bit on my finger. Just adding it in here as well. A little bit more there. Okay. And then I'm going to use the dark grey from the Pablos, and I'm just going to start mapping in the fur on these like cooler areas. We'd just been for a walk on the canal, me and Paddy, and I thought, it looks like it's going to rain. I don't know about this. He doesn't like rain either, so it's never good when we get caught out in the rain, but went for a walk and I thought, right, I feel like now is the time to turn around, and just as I got back to the car it started absolutely chucking it down. It's always a nice feeling when you get back just before that happens. So he's nice and tired out now, currently underneath my desk. For context, somebody commented saying they like to hear the sounds of like Paddy walking around and stuff because it gives like a setting. They can imagine the setting or the contest, whatever. I thought that was really cute. I get so paranoid about like background noises. Just gonna blend it up here a bit. But yeah, so for my friend's birthday tomorrow, we're going to Bongos Bingo, which I've been to a few times. It's absolutely chaotic. If anyone's not been before, it's just absolute carnage. So that'll be fun. Blending it around here. You can win like Henry Hoovers and stuff as the prizes. Every time I've been there, I've just never been able to keep up with the actual bingo part of it, because it's just, if you've been, you'll know what I'm on about, but it's just madness. But it is a proper laugh, so I'm looking forward to that. It's like a little bit here where it's lighter, and then it's like darker where it sort of joins that bit we've already done. And I'm going to bring it across here. I'm sort of adding in where this line is. There's like a darker bit there, and then it gets lighter on this tuft again. So I'm just going to do some little strokes just to map in where that area is. And then I'm just going to fill in all this fur around here. But yeah, back to me trying to get that cow's ear or whatever it were out of Paddy's mouth earlier. Bull Terriers will just try and eat anything, like absolutely anything. It's a nightmare. I caught him trying to eat stones outside once. You cannot take your eyes off him. But he also is still a puppy, so hopefully he will grow out of that. Yeah, that was not fun. One minute it was there and then the next minute it was gone, and I was like, oh, where is it? Have you eaten it all? Let me know what are the best natural chews that you give your dog. If you do, obviously. Because I'm always looking for stuff to like give to him, keep him nice and busy. But I don't know, I feel like I have to monitor him at all times with certain things. It just collapsed underneath my desk. Right, just bringing that round here as well, so I'm just sort of mapping in where this lighter area is here. Lots and lots of teeny tiny little strokes. I've started thinking about trying to get back into like posting reels and stuff on Instagram, because I feel like my account is not dead, but like it's just gone a bit like meh. I feel like I need to get back into it. I always sort of like think, right, I'm going to choose between putting my time into YouTube or putting my time into Instagram, and I always pick YouTube because I just like it better. But then I also cannot neglect Instagram too much, because a lot of my commissions and whatnot do come from there, but I did a reel today and it took me over an hour to edit it, and I just thought, is this even gonna do anything? Who would think I'd rather put an hour into making a YouTube video? It's such a battle that I always have. I'm just gonna start adding some little bits through here. Some little tufty bits. Might even need to make them a little bit longer. And then following the direction here, adding some little bits. Okay, and then I might actually add that first layer into the orangey bits before I go and darken up the rest of this. So I'm going to add some burnt ochre 187, and I'm just going to start mapping in some details, some little fur details, trying to make sure that I follow the direction of the fur. So I'm sort of mixing it up with upwards and downward strokes. Just gonna add some little bits sort of coming out here. Some little bits through there. Sort of crossing it over into that cooler area, and then some little bits up here, again just sort of crossing some hairs over. And then I'm just going to add some fur texture through this bit. Okay, so it all looks very strange at the minute, but we're going to blend it all back in, it's fine. Just going to go back to the dark grey and just want to add a bit more around here. Blend it down a little bit. There's like a little tuft here, and then this, he's got this like little blob of fur. I don't know what they're called, like he's got them in both ears. Like a little hard tuft of fur, I don't know. I think I'll probably need some black or dark sepia or something for that, but I'm just going to add a little bit more around here. I think it needs to be a bit thicker, this dark area. That'll do for now. I'm going to go in with some Payne's Grey 181, and I'm just going to start to layer this up here. So just darkening up this bit here. Applying lots and lots of little teeny strokes. This bit that takes ages for me, all these little strokes on short fur to like build it up. Add a little bit more through here. Keep tightening it up. I always think when I'm doing like this sort of angle, fur coming upwards like this, I'd love to just turn my paper around, but obviously I can't do that for the tutorial, so it just takes me a bit longer to like build the fur up because of the way my hand's having to sort of manoeuvre itself. Add some around here. Bit more around here. Start adding some little bits sort of up that little bit there, and some little bits around here. Have a look, maybe a bit more just up there. Just going to blend a little bit up through that orangey bit. And maybe I need to do it a bit further in there. Then I'm going to use some black 199 and I'm just going to darken up everything we've just done. That extra layer of depth. Start on this top bit. Just keep moving around so that I keep my brain interested. It just takes so long to build up a really dark black fur because you can't just go in with black, like it just looks so flat. There wouldn't be any like undertone to it, so you've got to get all those layers of like the warm or cool colours, whatever it is that's underneath. It just takes forever. Whenever I do a black dog, it always just takes me longer than anything else. But they look so good when they're done, so it's worth it. There just never seems to be like an end in sight while you're doing it. I'm gonna add a little bit to this bit here. So like where it's really dark next to that orangey bit. Then I'm just going to draw this little like tufty bit in. And I'm going to add a bit more coming down here. Oh, it's just an horrible trump. Ugh. Just blending it back into this area a little bit. And then bringing it up here a bit more. Bringing this bit up. And I'm going to start on this bit here. And then a little bit here. A little bit more. Okay, we're getting there with that. And just blend a little bit around here. And I'm just going to bring this bit down a tiny bit more, so I'm going to add a bit of dark grey from the Pablos. Just bring it as far down as you can see, so about there. Bit of Payne's Grey, 181. Add a bit more of this up here. a bit more up here. And I might just blend a little bit more sort of through this bit. Okay, getting there. I think I'm now going to add a bit of Nougat 178. Just start to blend that through into the tan area. So from the like dark grey bit into the tan, so it all blends together nice and, what's the word, seamlessly. Bit through here. Gonna do a little bit at the end, just going downwards into the tan bit, just to create a little bit of an edge, a bit of texture. Keep blending up. And then I'm going to add a little bit through this like tufty bit. Start wanting to get a bit more detail in that, so it sort of like comes from the centre here, then the hair's gone left. And then they sort of like go to the right here. So they all sort of sprout out from this central bit. If that makes sense. And then I'm going to start adding some through this bit. Just keeping my eye on the direction everything goes in. Okay, and a little bit up here. And then I'm going to add some burnt umber 280, and I want to start darkening that up around here. So again, sort of blending from the cooler area through to that tan area. Add a bit through this whole bit actually, just give it a little bit of a brown tone. Then I'm going to add some up here, just blending that grey and orange area together. Add a little bit here. And just add a bit, just going up there. And I'm going to add a little bit through this little tuft. Maybe a bit more here. Okay, and then I'm going to add some of the Derwent Drawing Ivory Black just to really start to like darken up all of this bit. Definitely needs some more depth to get it looking a bit less flat. So just going over everything, darkening it up. Add a little bit more through this bit. I want to start getting the shape of like this area a bit more, so I'm gonna be quite like dense with my strokes just to try and get this sort of area in. You sort of do the strokes like to the left, sort of like away from your hand. Well, if you're right-handed, obviously. They sort of go a bit darker. But then as you come to like areas where it needs to sort of fade out, I'm going to start doing it towards my hand again. So it needs to have like a soft edge here, so I'm blending it towards where it needs to go softer, if that makes sense. Then in areas like this where it's like the middle of the section, I'm just going to do a bit more to the left. Try and build it up a bit more. Just sort of a mixture of different stroke directions just to try and build it up as much as possible. And darken up this bit here. here. I feel like I need to make it a bit darker. Make that dark section a bit wider rather. There. Maybe I need to bring that orangey bit out a little bit more too then. Just gonna add a bit of this round here. Blend that over that tan area. I think we need a bit of normal, I think we need a bit of black 199 just here. I've not added any of that in there. Just blends it together a little bit. And a bit through here. Blend it up into that tan area a little bit. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing there. I've just blended it up a little bit like this. And I'm going to just try and add a bit more shape here. And here. Just trying to pack the hairs in a little bit more just to get this shape of the fur that I can see. Add a little bit through here. Might even add a bit of dark sepia, 175, for a bit more of like a brown tone, so it's not too harsh. Just blend that through. Might add a little bit more cold grey one. Just bring this out a tiny bit. I feel like I've done that bit a tiny bit small. bit of dark grey. Just blend that out a tiny bit more. Bit better. A little bit more Payne's Grey 181. Some little hairs just coming off the edge. And I'm going to add a little bit more Ivory 103, and I'm just going to extend that area out a little bit. And add a little bit more Burnt Ochre 187. Just add some more orange. Better. Just gonna add some more Dark Sepia 175. Just wanna blend down into this area. Very hay fevery. Just blend a bit down. And I'm going to add a bit more Payne's Grey 181. Just want to add a bit more around here. Then some more black 199. I just want this like sort of line here to be a bit darker and for it to stand out a bit more. Just have to keep layering. And I'm applying a little bit more pressure now. A bit more in there. And a bit more Derwent Drawing Ivory Black. Darken up that a little bit there. Honestly just go forever. I might even just add a tiny bit more here. Alright, and then for the skin colour in the ear, I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to use my Derwent Drawing Chinese White as the base colour. So the reason I'm doing this is because in the lightest areas that I'm looking at, so like here there's like a little highlight and round here and stuff, it's pretty light and I want to keep that base as light as possible. I think ideally I'd like to use the pink white from the Luminance range, but because I don't want to go using too many different brands and different colours and stuff, I'm going to stick with white because I've just swatched it and it looks very similar, so I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to ever so slightly dab those lines. I'm going to use the Chinese White as the base colour. Just means as well, if we do use the slice tool, we'll be able to go back to the white underneath. So just using this just over those pink areas. So I'll just do that for now. Then I'm going to use Light Flesh or Beige Red, yours might be called, 132. I think Beige Red is the new name for it. And I'm just gonna work that on top so it comes up much more of like a pale pastel-y pink rather than it being too strong. So I'm just gonna blend it down there, sort of into that orangey colour a little bit. Get down to the blue, grey blue. Just blending it in. If you ever want to use a colour that's paler than something that you own, but you have like a similar sort of tone but it's just a bit too dark, just add a bit of white in there first. But it needs to be a creamy white, it needs to be like the Derwent Drawing White or like Luminance White or something. Couldn't be the Polychromos because that's just not creamy enough, ideally. Okay, then I am going to use another Pablo colour. So this is brownish orange, and I also recommend you get this. I don't think I've used this yet in this video, have I? In this tutorial? I don't think so. It's like a nice rose sort of colour and it's perfect for ears. So I'm just going to start to build up that slightly darker dusky pink colour. Going around this like orangey area, just bringing some little strokes down just to like blend that in a bit. And I'm just going to go around this like tufty bit here, just do some little strokes, so then you can still see some of these lighter hairs, just going around them. And some little strokes coming up here, just so that I can map this sort of area in. And also do some meeting that cool grey. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of a line here where this like little bit of cartilage is. I'm just going to start to build this colour a bit more. Really gently, really softly. in here. So just doing lots and lots of little lines just to start building that colour up. Shading it in a little bit as well. It's like a bit here where you can see a bit of a highlight, so I'm just going to sort of map around that area. Just even shade in between. Doesn't matter if you do little lines or little bits of shading, as long as it looks really smooth and well blended. I find it easier to blend if you do loads of little strokes. And I might just do a little bit up here. Blend it a little bit up here. And then I'm going to add this little bit in here. There's like a little bit of a line where this sort of like bit of cartridge is. So I lift it up there. So it's very much looking flat still. We were just establishing those shapes and base layers. Still very pink, it'll need to be more dulled down, but it's all part of the layering process. Just add a little bit to blend that out so it's not so harsh there. So I'm going to try and smooth that out a bit. And then I'm just going to add that little bit of like the cool colour up the side there. So cold grey one, 230. I'm just going to dab that line away a bit. I just like to get all my like borders done, if that makes sense. Let's bring that up there. Do some little hairs sort of coming off the top. Might just add a little bit more around here. And I'm I'm going to add some dark grey. Just start to do some little hairs. Just blend all that in. More around here. A little bit more around here actually. Okay, and I'm going to add some Payne's Grey 181. Start to add a little bit more detail in there. I think I need to bring that down a bit there too. And a little bit more around here. And then I'm going to add some more black 199. So add a bit of that up here. A bit more around here. And I'm going to add some more little bits through here. Some little bits coming down. Then I'm going to add some more burnt umber 280, and I'm just going to start adding a bit more through this like orangey area. Get a bit more texture in there. And I'm thinking I might use this as like a colour to darken up this pink area very soon. I think it should work. Hopefully. Let's try it. Let's do some really light little strokes. Yeah, I think that looks about right. Start to darken it up. Definitely needs more depth in there, doesn't it? So I'm still sort of going around, leaving some little hairs. Just by drawing around them and filling in between. Start to layer up over that rosy colour, and bring it down here as well. Again, sort of just like leaving some little bits of the cold grey to poke through. Just leaving little gaps between some of my strokes. And then just layer that up. I think I need to change my battery. Right, I'm hoping that you're in about the same place. Just going to carry on building up a bit more burnt umber. This is sort of like the shadow from this face, so you can sort of see like there's like a bit of a shadow sticking out like that. Underneath that fur. I think it'll probably need to be a lot darker. I think we need another colour in there, maybe like a I don't know, it's almost got a bit of a purpley look to it. I'm just going to build this up for now. Make those a little bit shorter. A little bit more around there. I'm going to add a little bit up this bit here. Layering it up. And I think I need a bit more of the brownish orange. Start blending that up a little bit more too. There. And I'm going to add a bit more burnt ochre. 187. I just want to really brighten up this orange bit. It's a bit better. More here. A bit more there. Then do I add a bit of dark sepia? Will that be the right colour? I'm gonna try it. So dark sepia 175. I'm thinking just darkening up in this little bit really lightly, really softly. Just want to create a little bit more depth. better, I think. I'm just trying not to use too many different like crazy colours. Although it would probably help just having the right colour sometimes. I don't know. I don't want to make your pencil list too complicated. And this seems to be doing the trick. I'll blend it in down here. So I'm just sort of blending into that cold grey fur. I think that's definitely pushing that area back a little bit. And layer it up a little bit more. I don't think I'll be able to do too much longer on this video because Scott got home from work a little while ago and he's entertaining Paddy in the bedroom to keep him busy, letting him cuddle up with him, so I can hear him keep crying. I think he wants to come back in, so we won't go too much further, I don't think. Be a lot easier when we get the summer house soon, hopefully, and I have like my own dedicated space, but till then I'm sort of having to just film as and when I can. So just sort of combining these colours really lightly to get the right colour. Sort of like mixing paints. Sometimes you just need a few different colours to get the right one. Maybe a bit more burnt umber 280. Blend that in. It is looking good. It's looking right. Maybe not as purpley as the picture, but it's not that different. I don't think I ever get the colours absolutely spot on perfect anyway. There's always like some little differences, but that's alright. It's always going to be more sort of your take on something. So at least I've made a start on the ear though, and I can sort of know for the next video now the sort of colours that we're using. I just add a bit more of this here. These videos sort of just have to be what I can get done in the space of time that I've got to film, but I think we've done well. I think we've done quite a fair bit. Starting to come together anyway. I might blend a bit more over this area. It's like a little bit goes up there. Better. Maybe even needs that sort of bright orange colour. Let's try a bit of the dark cadmium yellow, 108, just to brighten that up tiny bit, just pushing it through a little. Little bit there. Just gives that extra bit of vibrance. little bit on there. I'm just curious if the slice tool works nicely over this area, so I'm going to try it just so I know. So I've got my manual pen cutter and I'm just going to try. Oh yeah, it does. Amazing. Oh yeah, this is going to work well for the next bit then, where there's all these little hairs. Yeah, that's nice. That's going to work nicely. Just going to go over those little marks that I've made with the burnt ochre 187, just so they've got a bit more of an orange tone. But they'll stand out more once we've added more of this colour in the next video. That was just more of an experiment than anything, so I might just add a little bit of burnt umber around here. So 280, sorry. Just want to get the tone right. A bit more around here. Blend a bit more up here. Right, I think I am going to leave it there, unfortunately. So we'll carry on with the rest of the ear in the next video, see how far we get, but I'm loving those colours. I think they work really nicely, so happy about that. So I shall see you in the next one, hopefully. Make sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to see more videos like this, and I shall see you next time. Bye for now.